There are peace deals with politicians, but still there's death on the ground. The rescue group, known as the White Helmets, say the Syrian regime is responsible for this scene. This happened just a day after the UN Security Council adopted a resolution on Saturday calling for a 30-day ceasefire.
Eastern Ghouta cannot wait. It's high time to stop this hell on earth. And I remind all parties of their absolute obligation under international humanitarian and human rights law to protect civilians and civilian infrastructure at all times. And similarly, efforts to combat terrorism do not supersede these obligations.
The ceasefire allows the regime to carry on operations against groups linked to Daesh and Al-Qaeda. Militants from both groups are here in eastern Ghouta, but so are other rebels and civilians.
During the Assad regime bombings last week, more than 19 strikes hit hospitals and clinics in eastern Ghouta. More than 450 people were killed, and we received around 3,000 injured. Despite a shortage of medical staff and lack of medicines, and despite the ongoing airstrikes, doctors are doing their best to treat all injured people. Some doctors work more than 12 hours a day, and others haven't seen their families for days because they can't leave the hospital due to the larger number of casualties. What doctors are doing here can only be described as a miracle.
What's more, opposition activists accuse the regime and its Russian allies of a chlorine gas attack. More than a dozen people were injured and one child killed. But Moscow says it has evidence that the attack was actually carried out by rebel forces. Opposition groups say more than 500 people have been killed since the regime's new offensive on eastern Ghouta began on February 18. The UN has expressed outrage, but on the ground, words make no difference. Soraya Lennie, TRT World.